Welcome back to Flamingly Unfiltered. My name is Thomas.
And I'm Zachary.
This is our podcast where we explore the intersection of the internet and gay culture.
Tackle Reddit's wild stories.
And whatever else the fuck we want. Because not only are we flaming,
we're unfiltered.
That's fucking spiffy as fuck. That is...
We're podcasters.
Legit.
We're podcasters.
I feel legitimate now.
Yep.
Especially with the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Super cool.
Give everybody all the types of content they need.
Yeah. If you want video, we're on YouTube.
We got it.
I think it uploads video to Spotify too. I'm not sure about Apple or Amazon. I haven't even looked there, but I know Spotify uploads video. Video will also be on YouTube. Otherwise, we're audio everywhere. Anyways, welcome back.
Welcome back.
So excited to be here in an official setting.
And our guests.
Yeah, and our guests.
Hopefully they don't start anything.
We are in the lounge.
Yep.
This is what it's called.
Our hangout lounge.
Which is fun because now we actually have an official use for it. It's the podcast lounge.
This is also my sewing room. / sewing room.
Yeah.
Pod room.
Yeah, you sew everywhere though.
That's true.
Yeah.
So wherever there's room.
And we're going to podcast everywhere too. So
right, exactly.
Maybe.
Outside in the snow?
In the rain or in the snow. Oh, you don't know that game.
No.
Me and my sisters were just talking about it. It
Is
was
it the one where
PaRappa the Rapper.
You're kicked out the car?
Yeah. But it wasn't that. I'm not. So there's another sequence. So PaRappa the Rapper, for those who don't know, it's a video game for the PS1. And it was a cultural shift. It was actually a really good game. But now nobody would. I mean, there's plenty of games that are like this. But like we probably paid like $30 for that game. Nobody would pay $30 for this game.
I remember you playing it, and I was like, "What drugs are we on?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?"
It was so good.
Like,
you just like it prompts you what buttons to press, and so then you just hit the buttons. But there's like a whole scene going on, and if you mess up, they're like, "Whoa, whoa."
Yeah. I remember there was one challenge that you guys were like screaming at the TV because like you couldn't cook a pizza or something like that. I think there was like a food element.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, add the pepperoni or whatever it was. And
Yeah.
I was like, what are we playing this game for? Like, I don't know. It was just funny.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Well, and then the reason why I brought this up was because there's a segment where it's like in the rain or in the snow. In the rain or in the snow. Got the funky flow. Got the funky flow. And it's like some like Rasta frog. But the one that me and my sisters were just talking about and played the song,
yeah,
like in the car, it was the yo ho ho ho, stop the car.
Whoa, ho, 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 stop the car.
Yeah.
Do you know why I stopped the car?
Do you know why we stopped the car?
Yeah. You guys played the whole song.
I forgot to close the door.
I forgot to close the door.
Yeah. You played it and you all sang it at full volume.
Yeah.
All of you. And then here's me. I think I was like driving and I'm like
it was like some Disney show tune, but it's fucking PaRappa the Rapper. We've made an intro, we've made an outro. We're very efficient.
Not we, Thomas. Thomas did all the work.
Well, you recorded too.
He did all the editing, and he's just like, say these things. And I'm like, got it.
This is my passion.
Whatever you say, sweetie.
I love editing things. I want to start off with...
Oh my God. Reggie, it is not bath time.
I know, Reggie Licksalot.
He's a comfort licker.
And I let him because it's bonding.
Yes, we learned that.
Unless it's like my face.
Yeah. We learned that you're not supposed to like shoo them away. It's a calming thing.
Well, I mean, it's like up to you, but yeah, they're bonding.
Right. I find it relaxing. It's like a free bath. And I don't have to wash my face at night because he does it for me.
So I had two stories initially. I remember the one, and you know this story because it happened to both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I wanted to tell it is because it just brings me so much joy to this day, and I am reminded of it every single time I enter our car, and it's the story of us obtaining our new car.
Oh no.
And what had and the moments that transpired before.
The trauma behind our...
Yeah, so we just bought a new, or not, it's not a new car, we bought a new used car, whatever. traded in both of our old cars to get said new used car because I was having issues with mine, and Zach was like, yours was like peg legging
Like,
on its ninth life as a cat.
yes, yeah, I was any moment it would have burst into flames.
For sure. We had to drive our cars back, but then we come back to actually pick up the car. What happened? Okay, so my car
That's fine.
was fine.
Yeah.
Oh, but it just had the cracked coolant housing.
Yeah, small.
Which meant that it had no coolant in it at all. So you could drive it 5 blocks and that would be the extent.
So yeah, from our house to the dealership, we're like, perfect.
Yeah, we're like, okay, as long as it's not smoking when we get there, it's fine. And even if it was, I think they'd still take it.
It was windy. It's fine. It'll blow away.
Right. But then Zach parks his car and we get out and we start walking towards the door. And mind you, our cars are in front of the dealership and it's like windows. It's just our cars that you can see. We're the only cars, and we park.
Literally were the only cars in the front row.
So we park, and we look back, and Zach's car is just dumping fluid, like not just like a little teeny leak, and it was coming out of like the wheel well.
It was coming out from everywhere. It was like
just
somebody
pouring fluid.
So it was like somebody took a 5-gallon bucket of water and just dumped it under my hood, and it was like falling through it.
Yeah, just waterfall.
What is even this fluid? Like, this is every fluid this car has ever retained.
It was Niagara Falls.
Yes.
And it was so funny, and I just remember both of us like, oh my
I was like, go inside, because we were meeting with the guy that was selling our car, and he's like, hi fellas, and we're like,
like we're and we just
giggles.
And also they probably didn't even think to that probably happens all the time,
right? Well, also luckily it was like 100 degrees that day, and like hot tar, with this liquid. And so by the time we left and with our new car, we like looked outside and we're like looking over by my car, and it was all evaporated. So we're like,
yeah,
we're good.
Which that confused me too, because like I was like, maybe it's what, I don't know.
No, definitely wasn't oil, because like oil would have been like bloop bloop bloop, and this was like whoosh, like I said, like somebody just took a 5-gallon bucket of water and just dumped it under my hood.
If any of you 7 people that watch this podcast, please write in.
It could have been like legit water though, because I feel like isn't coolant like a little bit thicker too? But what I found out was, because when Greg had the car, I had coolant in there, and I was like, it's got oil in the back and it's got coolant in the back seat, and just for whatever you need, just use it, whatever. Well, then one time I went in there to fill it up again, and just because I noticed it was a little bit low, and so I dumped it in there, but it looked different, and I was like, this looks different, and so I smelled it, and it was just water. So I was like, maybe that's what it was actually water. Greg switched it, or like maybe must have used it and just put water in there or something.
Do you remember that one time like licked a liquid underneath the car? And
oh my god,
Reggie just peed there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Reggie's piss that he had tasted it.
That's right.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Yep, I do.
And you're like, that was Reggie's piss.
That was Reggie's piss. And he's like, I don't know. I don't think so.
He's like, it's watery.
Yeah, he's like, it's like salty. There was this one party. There's this one party I went to, and I don't remember who I went with, but there was this dude there, and he's a little like cuckoo in general. And he was wasted. He was so wasted. And he was like talking to his girlfriend over here, and he was like reaching for his drink. And so he's like talking to her and whatever. And he just grabbed something and like went like this and just chugged it. And then all of a sudden he's like, and he was making the worst faces, and it was brake fluid. He didn't look at what he like started chugging. And like by the time everybody caught on and was like, no, like he'd already like took a huge swig of it.
Ew. And
it was brake fluid. And I'm like, I don't think that's going to affect you much anyway, because of like how you are, which isn't nice, but he was wasted. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's like should they call 911? He didn't go to anywhere. I think he kept drinking.
I mean, I guess that was like, what's his like Mikey that could like down a whole beer in a second.
Oh yeah,
I guess that like you just
open your gullet.
Yeah, and it goes down.
Open your esophagus, and it's like it's gone.
See, no, I
like
can't,
a pelican. Like
for whatever reason, I can't even do that. Like I have to endure every little gulp.
Oh, I used to shotgun.
Like I can shotgun beers, but it's not the true shotgun where you like open your throat. Like I'm still like.
I could do that.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're so cool.
I am cool.
I haven't seen it though, so
Oh, should
the limit
limit
doesn't exist.
go get a beer quick.
Yeah. So no stupid questions. Most of mine are from no stupid questions because again, I love that like section of there's almost like a shame to it, like your shame. I love exploring like why are we shamed,
Oh yeah,
and like if you don't know something, you don't know something. So why, it's just like interesting to know like what like
who
shameful questions people have. Theoretically, could I swim to another country for free with no consequences once I arrive? Forget the amount of stamina it would take and how dangerous it would be. Let's just say I don't need any food and water and I have infinite stamina and I can swim there with no problems regardless of the time it takes, like a video game or something.
Right.
Like San Andreas. You just jump in the water and
just
swim
go
to Africa. What would happen once I arrive on land? Would it be illegal? Would I be arrested? If the answer to these is yes, I would be in trouble, then what if I took my passport with me? Again, let's say nothing happens to my passport and it won't be damaged or worn out or lost. I love, like, what if you're invincible and you punched a goat in the face? Like, just stupid stuff like that where it's like, what if,
what if you get there and you're like, my shark ate my passport?
Anyways, if I had the valid passport and showed it once I arrived, would I still be in trouble? And finally, if none of these would save me from getting in trouble, is there something I would need to do to prevent getting in trouble by swimming to the country? Or swimming to another country to go visit completely off limits legally? It depends on the country, of course, but I'm talking generally. Depends on the country. In general, in most countries, you're not supposed to cross the border out of the official border points and get the proper visa. Realistically, nobody would know you swam there and you'd yet another illegal immigrant. You'd be another illegal immigrant. If caught, you'd be asked to leave or deported. A notable exception, but not the only one, is the European Union where the border within the EU is fully open. You could totally cross the border 5 times over a 2-hour hike without seeing any cop custom agent. No doubt there's similar agreement somewhere else. Interesting.
This is Flamingly Unfiltered.
Am I the asshole for being brutally honest with a friend about her new relationship? So I have a friend who hasn't been dating recently. She said she just didn't want to make that a focus on her life right now, but she started in the last few weeks occasionally going on dates with guys from dating apps. Last weekend, she informed me that she met a guy and had gone on a second date with him and it had gone well. And I was like, okay, cool, nice. Okay, that was unnecessary.
Okay, cool, nice.
Okay, cool, nice. At the time, we were out drinking, and as we had more drinks, she eventually tells me that this guy is actually her boyfriend now, and she told him she's in love with him.
Kitty.
Kitten.
Surprise guest.
Another surprise guest. Now she is the type to sometimes say off the wall things for shock value, and then say she's just kidding. So I thought she must be doing that, and just straight up told her that she's crazy and she doesn't even know this guy. Thinking she's about to tell me she's totally kidding. Nope. She was completely serious. And now she's not talking to me because I told her I just don't think that's wise and I have concerns about moving things along so quickly. But I also told her that she's an adult and it's her life decision. I just want to express my concern as her friend. Was I a jerk for being so totally honest? It just really threw me off since I didn't even know the guy existed, and now all of a sudden she's in love with him after a week, and I couldn't quite manage to hide my real feelings on it. It made me think of a story.
A story within a story?
A story within a story. Mike Flanagan style. I had a friend that did this. She met this person on Tinder, let's say, or whatever, and I think they hung out for 8 hours, and she said she was in love with him. And I was like, I don't know.
Like, I love this because I know exactly what you mean. Like, there's some people that are like, they use the term love, like, very loosely.
Yeah.
But, like, kind of like as a jokey like, oh, I'm in love with him. He's so,
Right.
just
Yeah, he
like
was so
between
nice.
girls,
Like, oh my god, yeah. But
She was being serious.
She was serious. Yeah, she was serious.
I know exactly what you mean.
She was 100% serious.
Yeah.
And I get like what she said too. Like, you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. But it's like, well, I'm not going to stick around for your downfall.
Yeah.
This is a lot really fast. It's like, maybe like calm down. And it ended up that he was actually crazy. So I was right.
I was right.
I was right the whole time.
Yeah, that scenario is so hard. You're gonna do what you want to do. Like the friend in question.
Yes.
They're gonna do what they want to do. And so are you, And how old was your friend?
Like 35.
Oh, this was... Oh, right. Oh. I thought this was like 16. Sorry.
No!
I missed that part. Yeah, that's different.
Right. Yes. So I just thought that was a funny story because I don't know. I don't think it's you being an asshole if you're being honest, because I think that's important.
Yeah. I mean, there's always context. I mean, I think if you're really good friends with somebody, unsolicited advice is always hard.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Like if they're asking you, hey, like what should I do in this scenario? Give it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're best friends, small friends, whatever. But unsolicited advice, tread carefully. I love this one. What happened to bronies? They used to be a super big part of the internet. I remember them dearly. Then seemed to disappear overnight. I can't remember the last time I heard anything about them. The people who were bronies still exist. But what happened to them? Because bronies were... So the bulk of bronies were aged 15 to 30. That was like, what, 20 years ago?
No, not 20.
10?
I remember maybe less than 10. I don't know. Because I remember hearing about them in high school. So I guess that was, never mind. That's almost 20 years ago because I'm an elderly person.
Oh, so I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I saw incel. So maybe bronies are incels now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that one was small, so I'm going to do another one.
Okay.
I thought this one was fun because you are an expert in this topic.
Oh.
And so the question is for you, those of you with tattoos.
I love tattoos.
Are there any rules I should know and tattoos I should avoid? I have no intentions to face tattoo, but is there anything I don't know? Reggie, you're so cute. Yeah. But is there anything I don't know that I should know to avoid?
Don't get a tramp stamp. They hurt really bad.
Damn.
Yeah. Mine, it was the worst tattoo I've ever gotten. I remember sitting in the chair. I had gotten a pillow to hug, and I was just like, and I was sweating, and I was like,
ouch.
And I think it was only like an hour and a half maybe, and it felt like I was in that chair for 2 days. Like I was just like drenched in sweat.
Damn.
I think that's the time I got that one when Michaela got her hibiscus. I could be wrong, which is also like in the same spot, and she's like, "That's fine." I was like,
I feel like it's different for everybody.
Well, I feel like it's different for everybody, and then I feel like it's a statistic that women have a higher pain tolerance.
Right, for sure.
So I'm like, she's like, "That was fine." I'm like,
yeah,
I want a face tattoo. I want a face tattoo really bad, but I don't know what I would get.
That is such a I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I think it's such a hard decision.
Right. Something like right here, just like tiny, like the size of a dime.
But you'll never get a job again.
Okay. That's fine. I'll just mooch off the system. Or you can be my sugar daddy.
Why is he suspended? He's hovering.
I don't know.
You lay down.
As long as he's touching one of us, he's fine. Some of the things I've seen, I've had people or seen people use rubbing alcohol or hydrogen peroxide on tattoos, and that kills the healing tissue, and so that's a big no.
Yeah.
And a lot of people put petroleum jelly on it or A&D ointment, and that suffocates it, and it doesn't, because it's a wound, so your wounds need oxygen to heal. I remember the one on my back. The guy didn't tell me how to take care of it. Well, the first night I didn't do anything, and I know me and my friends got drunk, and it was really hot, and I slept in my friend's bed, and I slept on my back and I was wasted. And
Oofta.
I sweat, and I was wearing just a wife beater, and I was like laying on my back and I was super hot and sweaty. And when we woke up the next morning, I was stuck to the sheet. And I remember I had to like peel myself off slowly as I could. And then the whole design was like imprinted on her sheets.
Yeah, like the
because I took the plastic wrap off right away.
It's like that machine that it's like people make fun of it because it looks like boobs, but it's a rubber thing that dips onto a printer and then dips into a bowl to print a.
Oh yeah, like I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know how long I was laying like that. So like when I peeled it off a whole layer of my tattoo, and then it looked like shit, like immediately. So I'm like, cool, this is the first day I've had my new tattoo, and it looks awful, and it healed bad, and it looked bad, and then I just let it get worse, and then I had Street redo it.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
Like I let it get sun faded on purpose because I'm like, it doesn't matter because it's already wrecked. Yeah. After one day.
There you go, Reggie. Now you can lay down.
When's your next tattoo?
I'm not getting another tattoo. I'll also show some of your tattoos too. Do you know if Scotty does the numbing?
He does bacitracin, and it's like a spray, and it'll like just numb you a little bit.
I wouldn't ever get like a whole chest.
I fell asleep for my chest until they got to my sternum. Then I was like, oh, that fucking sucks.
Like I would get something, like I like my small tattoos, and I would get something smaller probably again. General rule is like tattoos are supposed to be facing outward, so that when other people see it, it's not upside down.
Yeah, they're for other people, not for you, unless you specifically say something.
Right.
Like I had the rose on.
Just know that if you do it the way that you want it, where it's for you, it looks weird to other people.
Correct. Yeah. That was like when I had my rose, it was for me. And so that's why it was upside down.
Once you build a rapport and have a relationship, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, because I've gone
for your first tattoo, the artist wants you to succeed with your tattoo as well. So if you present an idea that's not gonna work out, they're gonna tell you because this is your first tattoo.
Yeah,
they want you to succeed, but they also don't want you to come back and be like pissed,
right? Or they don't want you to walk out with a shitty tattoo and then be like, this person did it.
Yeah,
and,
that too.
That's like another big thing. But yeah, like I've been going to those guys since I was 18.
Yeah,
which is crazy. Bananas. Like I've been going to the same handful of tattoo artists since I could get tattoos. They just got voted best tattoo shop and hair salon in central Minnesota. They won the awards.
Wow.
It makes sense. A decade.
What's central Minnesota?
I don't know.
Like the cities?
The Midwest of Minnesota.
Like, is that the cities too, or no?
I don't know. Am I the asshole for not posting on Instagram for my best friend's birthday? My best friend and I have done birthday posts on our Insta story since we started being friends. A while back, I chose not to post on Instagram anymore because I just don't like the pressure. About a year goes by without a post for my account, but my friend posts these cute pictures and videos of our friendship on my birthday. I love the sentiment, and I always text her and tell her thank you, but I don't repost. Then, on her birthday, I chose not to post on my story because I haven't been active on Instagram in a year, and I thought it would be weird if I posted only for her birthdays. I still sent her a long text about what our friendship means to me on her birthday. However, she has made comments about me not posting on her birthday, even though I do like and comment on things on Insta.
Woof.
Am I the asshole for not posting on my friend's birthday if I never post anything at all before or after then? And does that mean if I do choose to post something on her birthday, something one day, then I should post for her other birthdays too?
That's tough. So I would say like it depends on if you really like the person, because social media can be tough. Like I think, like 5 years ago, if somebody did that, you'd be like, what the fuck?
It kind of was like back when like MySpace had. Were you around for MySpace?
What are you talking about?
Did you have MySpace?
Yeah, of course I did. I fucking was a coder and made a whole.
I feel like MySpace.
I had like a little mini game on mine, and the song. You know how the song would play?
Yeah.
I like hid the player, so it wasn't MySpace anymore. It was like my own URL.
Yeah, your own.
Like the whole
world.
thing was, yeah.
I remember I didn't have an email until I got a MySpace. My friends were like, "You don't have an email?" And I was like,
I think I got an email for MySpace too.
I was like, "I don't email people. Why would I need to email people? I'll just call you. I'll just call you on the phone."
I forgot what my first email address was, but I do remember a successor, which was harrington_dog@hotmail.com, which
Well, now everybody can email you.
I no longer have access to that email.
Oh.
But I remember, like, I was friends with somebody at the time, and they put, like, Tyler Dog or something. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
That's cool. Yeah,
but DOG, not DAWG.
I still use my original email, but it's to like sign up for coupons. Some stores, the worker gets credit if you get certain emails. You know, if they get brownie points at work, I'll be like, "Oh, here's my email." And my email, I picked it because it was this word that this guy that I had a crush on used all the time. And I was like, "Oh my God, this would make me think about him every day or every time I sign in." And it was like, I don't know. I was fucking weird, dude.
I was weird too. I remember the password for one of my logins being, "I really, really, really wish I could drive," or something like that. Like, I was like 12.
Just the longest, like
no, seriously, I thought
Thomas
it was
is
so
like click,
cool.
click.
Just trying to sign in. Like, enter.
Right.
And then it would be like, nope, because I typed it in wrong.
Right. You forgot one number in the middle of it.
I had like space, like multiple spaces. Nowadays, that's good. Back then, I was like, and you want to know what the login was for? My fucking keyboard training class.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like, who cares about that?
Right.
Like, I think they only put the password in there so you type more.
Right, so you
like,
type more.
Typing.
Yes. But no, I remember the top 8. I just left Michaela at the top 8. Nobody's gonna complain about me leaving my sister at the top 8. And then everybody else was swapped around afterwards. Because everyone would be like pissed. They'd be like, why am I not your number one? I'm like, well, my sister's my number one. So and it's never changed. Like, I never moved it.
I do remember, like, obviously I remember the top 8. And I remember being like crushed. Like, I had a group of friends, and I remember like going to their page and being like, "I'm not number one."
Right. I never went to other people's, and I was like, "Why am I not your number one?" Because I didn't care, but I was like, I know other people cared. I knew other people cared. Like, people would come up and ask me, and they'd be like, "Why am I number 4 now?" I was just switching people around. I don't know.
But you switched them around for a reason.
Well, no, there was some times where I'd be like, "F her, I'm moving her to the bottom.
I'm taking her off."
Right. And then sometimes I would move people to the bottom just to like start some shit, but I would probably just put them back right away. MySpace is still around, but it's used for like music. I remember finding all the best music on there. I found
Jeffree Star.
I remember being obsessed with Jeffree Star.
Yeah.
I remember putting on pictures and stuff like that, and you could like tile your background. I would put emo boys kissing, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so scandalous."
Now it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, I remember Jeffree Star being like revolutionary, bumping into like old celebrities where you're like,
yeah,
oh yeah.
Well, that's like the Goblin from Halloween Town.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen him?
Yes.
And he like came back, and it's like, what? You look so different.
Somebody from, I think it was Marnie from Halloween Town, specifically told him to hurry up and make a TikTok because everybody is lusting over him because now he's like super hot. Yeah. He's like hot silver daddy. Yeah, and everyone's like, you need to like capitalize on this. Like, get on Twitter, get on Instagram, get on the TikTok. Yeah. And he did. He made a TikTok and now he posts stuff. I think that's what his handle is like Goblin Daddy or something.
Goblin Daddy.
Yeah, now he's like buff and has tattoos and shit.
Too funny. Who's another celeb that came back? Smosh?
Yeah, that one guy looks familiar, but I have no idea.
They used to just make like silly videos. Am I the asshole for withdrawing my letter of recommendation for a student who turned out to be racist?
Oh, no.
I feel like no.
Right off the bat.
Just right off the
bat. That, yeah. Simple.
We just love to see it.
Yeah.
When racists lose.
Yep.
I had written this letter of recommendation to someone who was applying to my alma mater medical school. By coincidence, I had a conversation with him. I was shocked to see him outside of the classroom. He made remarks about only wanting to be in medicine to serve his group of people. I told him this goes against the oath you take when you enter medical school, which implies that you serve everyone equally. He said he doesn't care about the oath and it is worthless. He also made problematic remarks about refusing to treat inmates. I told him this is not an option as he will be in a position to treat incarcerated people while in training, and he cannot refuse to do that because he would be violating medical ethics. He proceeded to mock medical ethics. I told him if he is not willing to take the oath and he's not willing to treat everyone, regardless of who they are and what they did, then he is not in the mindset to be a doctor. He flipped, and he started accusing me of being a horrible human. We belong to the same religion, so he started accusing me of being unfaithful to my religion if I'm not willing to put my people first. My people.
What are you?
I got so angry. I immediately emailed my medical school saying that I revoked my support for this applicant because in talking with him, he made concerning racist and discriminatory remarks.
Yeah. Cut it
I know
out.
my school will take my word for it. I also have screenshots in place. I know very well that he has zero chance with my school now after my email.
Good.
It makes me feel uneasy that I destroyed this person's chances. He destroyed his chances.
Being a racist destroyed your chances.
If you would have let him pass, that would have looked bad on you, and he would have failed immediately.
Or he would have succeeded and gone on to do all these bad things. And so let's say he went through all the steps, he became a doctor, and then there is a person of color hurt on the side of the road, and this doctor just walks by and is like, sorry.
But at the same time, I would feel horrible if he gets into medical school knowing that he comes with hate towards everyone, and especially vulnerable populations. Am I the asshole for doing that? I don't think so. I think you wrote in knowing that you're not the asshole.
Right. Yeah, right. I don't care. If you're racist, there's no place for you in this world.
You stopped a demon from becoming a doctor.
Literally.
So.
Yeah. This is your residency. You have to help this person. Why aren't you helping this person? What are you going to say? Like, I don't feel like it? You'd have to have a legitimate reason. And then if you say, because they're brown, I'd be like, get out of my residency immediately. Like, you're not coming to my hospital.
Yeah.
That reminds me of my recent friend breakup with my racist next door friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I cut her off immediately. She said,
Zach obtained a friend on Nextdoor, which should be a red flag.
Why am I nice?
If you don't know, Nextdoor is an app. I don't know how it still exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's been around for a while now. And it's an app where it's like social media, but it pings your location. It's kind of like Grindr for
Grindr for garage sales.
Yeah, Grindr for garage sales.
The whole point of it is to have like my cat is missing. Can everyone in my neighborhood please look? Or I'm selling my car. Does anybody need a car in my neighborhood? But that's never the case, and it's just like Facebook, where it's just all these idiot redneck racists that are like, I saw some sketchy black people in the neighborhood. It's they were just walking their dog. That's what a lot of it is. It's I saw this person and they looked like they were on meth. And it's well, were they on meth? Or were they breaking in your home? What is the rest of this story? And they're like, nothing. They just look sketchy. And it's they're taking a seat at the bus stop. That's it.
Yeah.
It's just dumb shit. But I was giving away plants on the next door because I'm a nice plant person, and this girl showed up or she messaged me and she's like, I am trying to get into gardening and my daughter really loves gardening and she's 5 and she is obsessed and I would love to get some plants from you. And I was like, absolutely, that sounds great. I love that you're nurturing your daughter's hobby. And then we hung out for she was here for 5 hours, maybe 4 hours, and we talked the whole time, clicked immediately.
Well, I was hiding upstairs because I don't like to meet new people, and I thought they were just chatting for 5 minutes.
Nope, she was here for hours,
and then it was so long that I almost came down to be what's up, but at that point I'm I don't know if she's leaving right away, and I don't want to add. It was one of those situations where it's now it's too late to come down.
Right. It's weird, awkward timing.
Right. So I was next time I'll meet her, obviously.
Yeah.
No, next.
But I know I sent her a snap and she's like, oh, I don't like her. And I was like, what? It was a snap of
Halle Berry.
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
Yeah. And what the story was, and she's like, I don't know who this girl is. And I was like, oh, she's the new Little Mermaid. And she's like, oh, I don't like her. But how? Like, she's so beautiful and she's so talented.
And it was such a good movie.
And it was such a good movie. And she specifically said, Black people can't be in white roles.
Come on.
And then she doubled down and she said it should be for everything. Like, Black people shouldn't be in white people roles and vice versa. And I'm like,
who says Ariel's white? You know, it was just a Disney movie. Jesus Christ.
it's a fucking fake cartoon.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's fucking racist as fuck. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard, and I don't put up with any racist bullshit. And she's like, I'm not racist, my boyfriend's Black. And I'm like, well, somebody should probably tell him that you're racist, because that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Her theory is, because the story was written 100 years ago, or whatever it is, The Little Mermaid, everyone in that time frame was white. And it's like, no, they weren't, but okay. But everybody in the story was white, so everybody should remain white forever. Like, that sounds boring. Like, what are you gonna just have every white person be white in every single story forever? That sounds so like closed-minded and then just like boring. Like,
the only thing
that
I could see it being like the color purple, and then
right,
they would cast white people.
That
like,
is
obviously,
yeah. Right. But if it's like a fake role, like the Little Mermaid,
the Little
who's a
Mermaid,
fake person, she's not real. And then I told her the actual story behind the Little Mermaid, because the real story is the writer was a dude and was in love with the prince, and it was a gay love story, and he couldn't write about a gay love story because of the time. Nobody liked gay people, so he wrote The Little Mermaid as a representation of himself being in love with the prince.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you really knew the history of The Little Mermaid, you'd know it's a gay story.
Did you say that?
Everything is gay. Yes, I did.
That's
I told
so
her that
funny.
everything is gay, and she's like, that's not true. And I was like, okay, educate yourself. Fuck you, you're racist. I don't put up with any of that shit.
Yeah. I actually do, not to like take it from Sarah and Megan from It's Always a Husband.
Oh,
I
yeah.
do have a glitter in the shitter.
Ooh, what is it?
My glitter in the shitter has been that we rediscovered the Sheryl Crow album.
Oh my god.
And you're lucky that I only played at work. But it has been, I wouldn't say back to back to back, but I've probably listened to it like 3 or 4 times now.
I'm not opposed to Sheryl Crow. I just don't know any of her work besides what's on the radio, like all the old songs.
Like,
and then we can never play that one.
No, don't even say it. I hate that one too.
Yeah,
I hate that one.
Which
and
okay,
with the collab,
going back
Bad
to,
Person. I
going
hate
back-
that song.
back to-
Is Sheryl Crow racist? I hope not.
I think she was just at a Pink concert, and Pink loves the gays, so I'm gonna assume not. Let's look it up. We're gonna Google is Sheryl Crow problematic?
Okay. You do that.
'Cause if
You do
she
that while
is-
I finish my story. It's just so nostalgic for me because my mom had the album, and I just remember like playing that song or that album like over and over. And all I want to do is the most nonsensical song ever, but I can't not listen to it. It's so good. And it's also the reason why our first post ever as a podcast was all I want to do is have some, just like, it's so basic. Like, that's all anybody ever wants to do is have some fun. You know what I mean?
Right. I like that song.
Yeah.
What's another one of her like really popular songs?
The one that shall not be named, and it's all the ones that are in this album, which is nice.
I forgot she dated Lance Armstrong. Or were they married?
Did you know that her front teeth got knocked out?
No.
Yeah, she was singing at a bar and somebody like dropped their, I don't know how it happened, but somebody like punched her teeth out with their beer.
What?
Yeah, their mug or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There was this one dude in high school, and that happened to him. Somebody was like throwing a beer into the garbage or something at this party, and it obviously missed, and it hit his front tooth and completely knocked it out.
Ooh.
Well, which sucks. And he was like, it hurt really bad. Well, then he got it fixed, and his teeth were totally perfectly fine. And then it happened again. Somebody threw a beer at him. I don't know if they were fighting or if it was just like another accident. Knocked out the exact same tooth, and he's like, I'm not about to get that fixed and get a new tooth put back in. And so he got like one of those retainers with the teeth attached, and like sometimes he'd be like talking and he'd be really like animated, and his
My-
mouth would move just
Yeah.
right, and it would like pop down,
out.
and then he'd be like, and it would go back into place. It was so funny.
My dad had that same thing. Did you know that his whole like front
No.
got knocked out? Yeah, in baseball, you know how they say don't let the bat go. So he
Oh,
let the bat go, and it knocked him right in the mouth.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That also happened in elementary school. I remember there was this dude I was friends with. I was friends with him because I was friends with, like, he was friends with my best friend, so it was like friends by association. And it was him, and then the school bully. Like, he was like such an asshole, and he was so mean for no reason. And I remember the bully was coming out of the playground to play, and it was winter time, and my friend by association was going in, and he had slipped on something on ice, or like a like snow patch or whatever, and he slipped, and somehow magically they collided just so his like front like few teeth literally chomped in the bully's head,
That happened to me.
and they got ripped out, and they were in the bully's head.
Not that.
No,
Specific,
I don't know.
but-
Like they must have like adhered to his skull or
Ouch,
something.
ouch.
Yeah.
That happened
And
to
I
me.
I remember being like I was like, oh, I'll stay here and wait for him until he comes back, because I think he was just go to the bathroom or something. And I just remember hearing screaming. He was screaming so loud, and then I turn around and the bully's just covered in blood. And I remember the like playground adults were like, "Go inside, children, go inside!" Like to those two, and like we're trying to like hurry up and shoo them in.
So that happened to me too, but not as severe. I was in basketball, and somebody like jumped, and their head like knocked into my lip. I could probably find a picture because we got like third or fourth place or something, so they took a picture. And I remember like my whole lip was just so swollen.
Yeah, I hate anything doing with my teeth. Like I'm such a
I have
baby.
dreams that my teeth are like missing.
That's very common. I think it has to do with stress.
I
Like,
have dreams about falling all the time too.
yeah, I think
Flying and not being able to like I'm like flying like like Kiki's delivery service or whatever, like on a broom or whatever, and then losing my ability mid fly.
Oh no.
And then like falling and like I'm like running out of gas.
Oh yeah.
And then just
And then you wake up.
Yeah.
You're like, I am not seeing anything about Sheryl Crow being problematic. So
thank God.
I think we're in the clear.
You know what? I love her. What's your glitter on the shitter? We should come up with a different name for that.
Right, we
so that
can't steal that.
I know, but like
Talk about
I think
plagiarism.
it's such a good one.
Yeah, like
Like a good segment.
what was our favorite part of the day?
Yeah, exactly.
But
of the week or
yeah,
of the week, because we're weekly. Every Monday.
Every Monday. I might have ordered more plants.
That's awesome.
Not fun.
Fun. I'll show a picture of this over here. You can't see it, but I'm excited for this to go up on the wall.
Yeah, it's still adhering.
What's the plant called?
It is a
You forgot?
It's a
Look at this cuddle puddle.
like an antler fern, something like that.
Okay.
Stag fern.
It looks like it's doing fine.
It's looking a little brown in the middle.
Oh
there, but-
yeah.
Well, I think it'll be fine.
You'd think the leaves would die off though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Let's not give them all the juicy plant talk. That'll be for a future segment.
Sure. The juicy plant talk. I was like, I want you to say this one because it looks so cool. I can't wait for it to go up on the wall.
I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but we'll worry about that later. Yeah, new plants hopefully come in Monday.
And to anybody that's out there listening and watching, thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's been real.
I hope you think we're funny and
even if you
entertaining.
don't,
Even if you don't, please follow all the socials. Until next time.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Flamingly Unfiltered.
Now available on Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, and Apple.
Receive updates on Instagram.
Start the week off strong with Zach and Thomas.